Hey, I'm Vanessa Lachey, and you're watching Del Marva Life.
Do you have a piece of jewelry just sitting in a drawer or maybe broken and not being used? As a matter of fact, I've got some of that at home. Maybe it is meaningful to you.
Have you ever thought about turning that jewelry into something new or more useful? Well, the folks at GB Heron in Salisbury showed Brian the jewelry making process from taking something old and turning it into something new again.
Jewelry often comes with a great deal of sentimental value. Jennifer Warden of Salisbury knows this firsthand.
I had a teardrop eye. It was half of a necklace that my great-grandmother left me, and it had broken, and so I haven't been wearing it for many years.
In fact, Jennifer says it sat in her dresser for 2 years until she decided to bring it to GB Heron in Salisbury.
Her birthday was just a couple of days ago, and I wanted, this was like, I need to get it done. I'm tired of not wearing it.
We make jewelry from scratch. A lot of times we take someone's old jewelry and remove the stones, melt the gold, and remake a whole new piece of jewelry out of someone's old jewelry.
Jeff Castles is the owner of GB Heron. He says he and his goldsmiths are used to taking on projects like Jennifer's.
There are people my age whose parents are dying, and they receive their parents' wedding set, and they might already be married, have a wedding set. They don't have a use for a new wedding set, so we remove the diamonds, melt the gold, maybe make a pendant, maybe make another type of ring, not an engagement ring, but then we're using their original gold and the original stones, so there's a whole lot of sentiment involved in that. And someone gets to wear a new piece of jewelry that belonged to someone they loved, and so it becomes a new keepsake.
So what does it take to bring new life to old jewelry? GB Heron took us through the entire process from start to finish.
What he's making is a model, and he's taking soft wax and building it up until he gets the product that he wants. Then we take that wax model, like we would take any wax model. We add some wax wires called sprues to that model and then attach a rubber base to that. The rubber base then has a tube that goes around that. We pour plaster into that tube. When the plaster hardens, we remove the rubber base. Now we have a metal tube with plaster, hardened plaster, and inside that plaster is the wax model. We then melt gold, put it onto a vacuum table, and pour the melted gold into that plaster model. It fills in the cavity where that wax was. The wax is lost in the process, but the gold then fills in the cavity. When that gold hardens, then we break it out of that plaster, and we have a gold model, and then from there, Tim has to take a variety of tools to make that rough casting into a beautiful piece of jewelry. When we first cast it, a lot of people can't believe the gold looks like it does in that state. It's a very rough form, and it takes tools and experience on how to make that into a piece of jewelry that people have always been so fond of.
And just like that, the teardrop eye that sat in Jennifer's drawer for so long was made new again. And we were there when Jeff revealed it to her for the first time.
I can't wait to put it on. I really can't.
And the gold that was used to make this pendant came from Jennifer as well.
Less to maybe no sentimental value of gifts. A gold bracelet, a ring, I think. Just gold that I wasn't wearing, I didn't need.
Jeff says people should not be intimidated to bring in their jewelry. If they have an idea of what they want, he can make it happen.
We look at many different types of jewelry so that I can get an idea from them. What do you like? Do you like stones and prongs that are set high? Do you like things that are set low? Do you want something very small? Do you want something really big? The more I know about them, the better the results are going to be, the happier they're going to be.
And what's even more impressive, the art of making jewelry comes down to using your hands.
It is an art, and it's a craft. It's both. And it does take a lot of work to be able to use those tools effectively and to go where you want to go.
And because of that skill, Jennifer can now hold her great-grandmother even closer.
I mean, jewelry is a sentimental piece, and this is something that now she had an idea, we've turned it into reality. Her great-grandmother is with her all the time.
And Jeff says custom jewelry is a very popular gift during the holiday season, which means he will be getting very busy as we head into the coming months. So if you have some gift ideas or want a piece of jewelry made, Jeff says come in sooner rather than later.
I guess I better go dig that out.
Yes,
huh?
you better go
I
dig
do
that out.
Well, now that you know how to make old jewelry new again, maybe you have a piece or two that you want to leave behind for your child or your grandchildren. Up next on Delmarva Life, Estate Planning 101. It's not just for when you're older. We're going to find out why now is the time you might want to start getting a plan in place, no matter how old or young you may be.
Plus, what's the secret to a successful steak? We're in the kitchen a little bit later to find out. Delmarva Life, we'll be right back.